What we got? Zozozo? That's not good. All right. All right, that was a crazy round one. This is bad because I just don't have a lot of things in my deck to beat Hollowvine. I'm gonna have a hard time here, I would assume, but we're gonna give it our best shot. What is your opinion on Jund in Vintage? I think Jund is perfectly fine right now. I think that Luris helps that archetype a lot, and I think that Renin 6 Wasteland is very, very good. Oh, Zol is not on? Zol is not? I've never seen Zol not play Bazaar of Baghdad. You gotta be lying to me. That's not exactly correct, Karatidom. It would mean they have no forces, but it wouldn't exactly mean they have no counters. No forces, no mind break traps. I would assume Zol would be frustrated playing Bazaar because playing Bazaar right now is a big ask. So it would make sense. I've just not ever seen them not play. Oh, no, don't worry, guys. Do not worry, guys. My opponent is scrying 9 on the upkeep. Just typical normal Magic things. Just scrying 9 on the upkeep. Ah, yes. Why not? I am about to get absolutely smashed by Bazaar of Baghdad. I am going to just get ruined. Teferi's pretty good against their deck, but not good enough, I would assume. Oh boy. Oh boy. I played Lutri because I figured there would not be any more people crazy enough to play Bazaar of Baghdad. So opponent went bottom, bottom, top, bottom, bottom, top, bottom, bottom, top. So they kept one of their cards and they looked at 7. That's math. Oh, thanks for the follows. Appreciate it. How's everybody doing today? 100 viewers, kind of sick. Kinda nuts. Oh, I'm not ready for Bazaar. They get to scry 9 and Once Upon a Time? How is this fair, chat? How is this fair? Look how many, they dug so many cards deep, and then they have a hollow one. This deck. Yo, imagine complaining about a cat, a 3/2 lifelinking cat in Vintage, when your opponent can look at their first 15 cards, find a Bazaar hollow 1 Ventrine. Imagine complaining about a cat at that point. It's crazy. So opponent did not find another free creature, and only pitched 2 Sphinxes, so it might likely have a force of some kind. So they have probably Force, Sphinx, Hollow 1, 2 unknowns. Mentor's a great draw. Mentor's a great draw for sure. Let's do I kind of need this to be a Tundra. I don't like playing a Volcanic because they can wasteland it, but you definitely do not need mana to cast spells, that's for sure. Alright, now I don't need a Tundra. Interesting. Interesting. So we can Demonic for Underworld Breach. I assume we just want to take both of these cards and then fetch away the Gush. And then maybe like bait with a Mentor and try to breach combo them or something. We might even want the Gush. Playing this exposes it to Vigor, but helps us play around Mindbreak Trap. All right, the jig is up, chat. They know our hand. They know our hand. I think we're probably more likely to win by resolving. I guess we just want to slam it to. Well, Teferi's just gonna die if they get a Vengevine. I'm trying to figure out what the most likely, the biggest chance we have to win, right? What is the line that gives us the highest probability of winning? I don't really feel like it's a Mentor, but they can only Force of Will Mentor. They can't Force of Negation Mentor. So there's some upsides to trying to have the other spells be the bait and Mentor be the payoff. We could also play the Pearl, play the Mentor, and then have Blast backup. Which won't play around Trap, but it will play around Force of Will. And then we could just maybe resolve a Mentor, and then we have a Demonic Tutor, so we're probably in pretty good shape after that. That line might even be better. Opponent didn't find a free creature again? And they pitched a Sphinx? So that must mean they have Hollow One Double Force, right? It has to mean they have Hollow One Double Force. It has to mean Hollow One Double Force. So that makes me think the best line is to just play a Teferi and plus. If we just play a Teferi and plus, they have to have double Vengevine to kill it. It's gonna get countered. Maybe what we really want to do is play our Pearl, play Teferi and plus, and have Blast backup. Would you play Teferi with Blast backup, or would you just play Teferi, Cho? What do you think? With Blast up? Yeah, I like that line a lot. I like that line a lot, actually. At this point, we can just fetch the Underground Sea. Blue, Teferi. Opponent has to force Teferi because Teferi doesn't let them play spells. They don't have to force Teferi because they do have a Vengevine in the yard, but it's likely they force Teferi here. So they have Negation and Trap, and we have Red Elemental Blast. If they have another negation, so they have another force or trap, they clear the stack, but it makes it so our Mentor is much more likely to resolve. So they do have another trap. Okay. So our opponent is left with Hollow One Unknown with a Vengevine in the yard. They're heavily incentivized to try to play like their hand out and get a Vengevine. Because they're going from 3 cards to 5 cards, back down to 2 cards. They're looking for Root Wall. Oh, so they hit Squee. So they have Hollow One and an Unknown. So they can't force our Mentor. They can't have Mindbreak Trap, but that's it. Obviously, Citadel, not a great draw. But we just jam our Mentor here and Demonic on the next turn, I think. Any other line plays into a possible trap when we definitely just want to jam this Mentor while we have the ability to jam this Mentor. And our Mentor should be able to stem the tide of Vengevines, though they did draw 2 Squeeze here, which is really helpful for them. The 2 Squeeze will allow them to dig really, really deep with this Bazaar. Alright, so they found 2 Vengevines, so maybe this Mentor isn't actually just isn't gonna be good enough. This Mentor just might not even be good enough. Wow. I guess what we could do is if we hit a land, we could Demonic for Lotus and play Citadel. We know that one of their cards is Squee in hand, but they could have easily hit blue card Force as well. We drew Daze. Alright, well, we have no choice here but to play Demonic Tutor, I would assume. What do we get is the next question here. Could get Lotus and go for a Citadel. Nah, we just won't have enough health for a Citadel next turn. We could go Ancestral. Maybe we could go Gush here. We can't really breach here. We could have a Lightning Bolt, which we could bolt a Vengevine, double block a Vengevine. It's just not very good. No dig. Why Force and Swords and stuff just don't really seem like great options. I think Gush makes more sense than Ancestral. I think I'm leaning towards Gush here. Let's try Gush. What are we floating? I guess we can just float blue here. Time Walk. That's an interesting thought as well. I don't think Time Walk is what gets the job done here. They have another Force. They have Force. All right, I guess we'll just daze this because I really do need to draw these two cards. Two cards are really important right now. All right, that's not big. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. We get another trigger here. We get to just Biforce the Hollow one. We have a pretty large monk army. Pack for 7. I don't know, that seemed like it went okay. Monastery Mentor is just obviously not a very fair Magic card. They just take this. There's no reason for them to... Oh, they're just gonna chump? Interesting. I guess there's no reason for them not to chump. They only get 1 squee back, so their hand is currently 2 squeeze and an unknown. Is the opponent going to attack? They are. I believe we just chump and threaten lethal. There's no reason to lose 2 more monks, is there? Nah, we can always make chump blockers. Even if we just have to brain freeze. Pitch 2 squeeze and a force, so they have 2 unknowns now. We drew a lightning bolt. We have Otter. I might have forgotten about Otter. I assume this is lethal then. If we just play lightning bolt, Otter on my lightning bolt. So what if opponent has force? I guess they've already used 3 Force of Wills, 2 Force of Wills. Is it just lethal with just bolt freeze? Bolt. So this is 5, and then each one is 4, so 9 plus 3 is 12. And then so it's actually not enough unless I do bolt Otter. No, wait, it's not even enough if I do bolt Otter. Kind of wish I hadn't done that. Maybe I should just go brain. Fuck. Well, I can't really die if I just go bolt brain freeze. I'm gonna make 2 more dudes. Is it lethal with bolt Otter bolt? I don't really. 5 plus 4 is 9 is 12. It's only 15. You're wrong. It will only go down to 2. That's not how this works, guys. 5 plus 4 plus 3. You don't cast the copy and you don't get prowess. But we do get a blocker. I'm a little afraid of getting negated though. I think I'm just gonna cast Brain Freeze. I don't want to like play Bolt and then play an Otter holding priority and get my Bolt negated. Maybe it's a worry that I shouldn't actually worry about. Yeah. There's also double Bolt the Vengevines. I think I might just go to their turn and like hold this Bolt. I just like don't think we can lose if I do that. I really feel like opponent has another counter spell. What if they have like blue card misdirection? Like if they have blue card misdirection, I guess I get screwed no matter what. Because you can do misdirection on any turn. Maybe like my best play is just to do this and then play an Otter on their turn, just so I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I just doesn't feel like. I don't know what the best line is, obviously. Clearly, I don't know what the best line is. I could have done another Bolt on their upkeep. At the very least, no matter what here, I'll have 1 or 2 blockers, depending on if they were to like misdirection into one of my blockers. So I can't really die here. A land drop is a prowess trigger. Somehow I feel like I fucked this up. We're very lucky to be at this point against this deck, really. Opponent should have had 8 power on turn 1, but they just couldn't find a second creature. So opponent has 4 unknowns in hand. I'm thinking I just take 4 damage here and keep holding this Bolt. Being at 7 is not exactly a risk. They drew a Wasteland. Well, I guess I'm going to be bolting at some point here. So now, if they have Misdirection blue card as their last 2 cards, and I get this misdirected onto my Monastery Mentor. Now, do I bolt the Vengevine or do I bolt them? I guess I just bolt them. I'm gonna have double monks. This is gonna totally get misdirected onto my Mentor, right? I can't even draw a land and play Citadel now. I do have Flash Otter though. Shouldn't have chumped last turn. That would have put us at 3, and then we would have gotten misdirected Bolt and died, right? I guess we would have had lethal monks, so that wouldn't have mattered. So I guess I shouldn't have chumped last turn. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, here's the misdirection. But then we can't play our lightning bolt on the next turn. So what I should probably do here is just chump with 1. No, I should chump with 0. That way any spell is lethal, including if they have a Memnite or a Hollowvine follow-up. No blocking here. This way every non-creature spell is lethal no matter what their final card is. It'll land. Still have an Otter. And the ability to replay my Otter. So, opponent has no way to remove anything, but they could always hit more Vengevines. So my attack step looks like 4 attackers leaves me open to a Vengevine. 3 attackers leaves me completely safe. Unless opponent draws a Force of Will. Which means I should probably just play our Otter with the squee triggers on the stack. So attack with 3, play Otter with squee triggers on the stack. I mean, it doesn't really matter if I play it now or before. Attack with 3. Attack with 2. Jump with 1, jump with Otter. It's definitely not all in. Thank you for that information, though. No, it's definitely not 3 back to block. Because I have Otter, so it'd definitely be 2 black to block. I think attacking with 4 is too risky, so I think I'm attacking with 3. Oh. Yes. That is the line I came up with, chat. Agreed. I should have made this no blocks line earlier. But that did leave me dead to misdirection. So it's kind of hard to say that that's correct too. Or did they have no effects? Did they have Hollowvine nothing? No, they didn't have Hollowvine nothing. I could have been dead to misdirection, right? And whatever, it's in the past. Oh, we can definitely still lose this game. I just don't think, we just can't lose this turn. We could lose this turn, right? They could easily draw Vengevine, pitch Vengevine, play 2 spells as their perfect 4 cards. So this, I mean, we're technically not 100% safe right here. And it gets harder and harder as we go. They can just hit more Memnites and more Backing Ruas and more Hollowvines and brick us. I can't make any more monks. They hit 1 Vengevine, so... Did they hit creature? It's really bad, because I think I probably played too conservatively at some point. Or just missed a really good chance of doing an Otter at some point. I don't know. I can't remember if the turn that I chose to double chump, if that would have left me dead to misdirection on my bolt. I guess if I don't double chump, I might just have the ability to brain freeze and have lethal. I'm not really sure. I don't have that math in the back of my head. I'd have to go back and look. I didn't have bolt when I chose to double chump, so I wouldn't have even thought about misdirection. So then, with the knowledge that I had, it was probably right to not double chump, and then I would have just played bolt and gotten killed. Would have been bad beats. Interesting. I think it was a misplay, though. I do think it was a misplay. I think Joe's definitely right. I was not supposed to double chump the first time I double chumped. They hit Wasteland. Well, I will not be bouncing my otter here. I will not be bouncing my otter here. One has a Vengevine in the yard. It's extremely unlikely that they can bring this Vengevine back from the yard. I have to block, but it's better for me to... Okay, they can't attack there because of this Lutri. So currently I don't have lethal. I'm one short, so a non-creature spell is lethal. Not that non-creature spell. I don't have attacks. All right, I don't have attacks. And there's a Vengevine in the yard. Because if I attack with just these, they would block both of these and go to 2. If I attack with 3 plus Lutri, they would block Lutri and 1 and take 2 and go to 3. And if I attack with all but 1, they block, and I could die to Vengevines on the following turn. I can't kill. Whoa, shit, chat. Shit. They should have 3 squeeze just going off. What if we just... I guess we can't even snap bolt. By the time we draw a spell, it's not going to be good enough. Pitch 3 squeeze, double Memnite. Oh, Memnite Hollow one, trigger 3 Vengevines. I have to chump them all. Might be it for me. That misdirection was so brutal. I kind of called the misdirection too. I had the soul read on the misdirection. I guess my attacks are never making better, so I would rather just chump here and trade 1, giving me the option to hit 4 spells in a row and win. I guess if that's the case, then I could go here and I would block. I would still hit 4 spells in a row and win. They have another creature? Oh, they have a chalice. Interesting. Why are you like this, game? I've just been like 1 card short of winning at all times. Opponent's just drawn 3 cards every turn. It's so sad. I probably punt this game, so it's fine. So if I were to block, orbs. I think I'd rather just have a monk in case I like ancestral or something and like go off. Chat. Alright, Strip Mine, Tabernacle, Blightsteel Colossus, Bolus Citadel out, Notion Thief in. Do we want Infernal Surgical Extraction in? Balance in? Maybe Infernal Reckoning. You got 6 cards. Pyroclasm. Some number of these counter spells. I'm not really sure how many. I'm not actually sure Reckoning is very good. Negation is awful. Mental Misstep is bad. Misdirection is not very good. Shattering Spree is worse than Infernal Reckoning. Force is worse than Infernal Reckoning. Force doesn't really seem like the game plan here. And then Pierce and Fluster do the same thing. Are they better than having Breach or Blast? Probably. Easier to have what? Yeah, blue mana than red mana. Although Pyroclasm's really bad too. Maybe we'll just leave our one. Maybe we'll leave one force in then. And roll like this. Yes, my deck is awful against Bazaar. I agree. It's because Bazaar is not very good right now, because Bazaar is very bad against cat decks. All variety of cat decks, for that matter. I think I threw away the game 1 win, though, with opponent getting a little unlucky, which is kind of sad to me. Alright, so we have Vamp for, we have Vamp for Strip Mine. Or Tabernacle. I wonder if we want to just Vamp on their upkeep, or I guess we can Vamp in response to a Bazaar activation. They mold to 5, cast a Once Upon a Time in my upkeep. They found a Squee. Pretty sure I want a Bazaar. I want a Vamp for a Strip Mine in their upkeep, I think. They're playing around everything. Oh, they just don't have a bazaar? Surgically extract my flooded strand so they know whether or not to waste me? And it shuffles my fucking strand! I'm playing my one-of deck. All of my cards are one-ofs. Why am I getting surgically extracted? Fuck. It's all one-ofs. Every single card in my deck, there's one of them. I didn't even get wastelanded. Do I want to have a balance? Nah. No one's playing Commandeer, Cho. Oh, they have a bazaar. They were just sandbagging their bazaar. I can't believe I got surgicaled. Why am I not getting wastelanded? They really are just trying to save it for Tabernacle? That's interesting. I think I pitched Dig Through Time Preordain here. Play a Teferi plus my Teferi. Play my Teferi plus my Teferi. If I get a Narset in play, I can never lose. I think I want to hold this surgical. I was thinking about surgicaling the squee, but I think I'm okay with letting the first one go. Could always like surgical and use our Luris to get 2 cards. I'm like a little bit more worried about a Vengevine than a squee. Opponent can't put a Hollowvine in play because we have a Dak Fade in. I think this game is going to be locked up if we jam all these Planeswalkers into play with a surgical in my hand, especially with a Teferi. I don't think that the Dig Through Time is necessary. I think like they're holding this in case I draw Tabernacle with the Pendril Veil. And I don't know if that's correct. If we got Wastelanded on turn 1, we would have had a very hard time of playing Magic this game. So like opponent has a Vengevine, but it's really hard for them to go, holy shit. It's really hard for them to go hollow one when we can just DAC a hollow one. Yo, Effie, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it. We're playing some vintage tonight. All right, so we lose. So now we can't play our Narset because opponent has hit double wasteland effects. I did not surgical the squee for the reasons I outlined right when the things I just last said. They're gonna hold one of them. I'd like to just, because I have a Teferi in play, right? So what can happen here is if I hit any source of mana, I can play Surgical Extraction, hold priority, cast Lutri, copy my Surgical Extraction, and get Vengevine and Squee. All right, well, now they've just hit all my mana sources, so that's obviously not happening unless we draw a Lotus. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hope your stream went well. Zol says they should have blown up a land at the beginning, which I completely agree with. Now it's pretty unlikely we ever get to this so what to do? So I have 5 minutes left again. Deck requires a little bit of thinking. Not conducive to my streaming environment where I just say everything that comes to my brain. We could have bounced here. Maybe we should have bounced here. Before DACing, obviously. Gosh. Lightning Bolt. Now I regret everything that I've done. I regret everything. Yeah, it would have been good if we drew a card with Teferi first. I agree. I definitely agree. You don't have to sell me on that one. So if I bounce this with Teferi, they can't even replay it. So it's possible I was supposed to do that the very first turn, actually. I didn't really think about that, but because I have a Surgical for a possible Vengevine, it makes a lot of sense to bounce the 1/1. We're learning things, chat. We're learning things. First time out with this kind of configuration. I am once again at 4 minutes with my deck that can't win the game, so we have that problem as well. Two Vengevines. I really hope they just like play some hollow ones and I can just take these Vengevines at some point here. All right, so now I can just surgically extract both Vengevines and Squeeze and the opponent can't do anything. Just cast this, pay for this. 1, 2, 3, cast this. Yeah, Squee, search for Squeeze. Yeah, they have a bunch of dead cards in their hand. 1, 2, 3. Can't lose this game. We just have to finish in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. I don't know. Plus on myself, whatever. Yeah, I do want that actually. What the fuck? I guess the brain freeze. We don't need it right now. Next turn, I can either Narset or strip. Because it doesn't really matter. Opponent can't play a hollow one. I just have to win as fast as possible. Yes, I can Narset and strip, though they don't really do anything together. The opponent can't do anything anymore, right? They can't play any Root Wallas, and any hollow ones they get played get DAC'd, faded away. They can't play any spells at instant speed, so it just doesn't matter what they do. We've locked them out of the game, essentially. Oh, they have Snapback, which they can cast for free, I guess. That doesn't really do very much though. I don't really feel like the need to strip them here. We can just take this thing. Arset. Alright, we actually have a win next turn now because we have Underworld Breach, I would assume. Is that faster than attacking? Not actually sure that it is faster than attacking. Maybe opponent will concede. I'm actually just going to go for attacking here. I guess I don't need to hit anything here, right? I can just attack. You know, I'm playing really slow, Log, okay? I am playing very, very slow. I just F6 through that attack step. That just discards cards. No, it's totally my fault. That's the funny part. Oh my god, I did it again! This time, it is 100% my fault. This whole prelim is gonna go to time because I cannot play fast enough. All right, okay. I'm entertaining. That you gotta appeal to my perks, not my downsides here. Come on. All right. Apparently, we're conceding now. All right. I need to win a game in 2 minutes, chat. How the fuck do I ever win a game in 2 minutes? I don't think it's possible. I think we have to go for a Tinker. Tinker Blightsteel. All right, I'm gonna board out my Lutri. I'm gonna board in my entire counter magic suite, and I'm gonna try to fucking jam a Tinker Blightsteel. I'm taking out Infernal Reckoning, and I'm taking out Jace, and I'm taking out. Is it even worth having the Brain Freeze combo? I don't even know if that's true. You know, fuck a Swords to Plowshares. Do we even want the Brain Freeze combo, or are we just trying to tinker? I can't execute the Brain Freeze combo fast enough. I don't think I can execute the Brain Freeze combo fast enough. All right, I'm just going in on Tinker Blightsteel. That's it. No Lutri. Lutri is illegal. I'm not gonna talk in chat, guys. I'm just gonna try to play as fast as I can, okay? I have to keep this. Force of Will, Misdirection. Have a Wasteland. I think I'm gonna fetch an island, and I'm gonna brainstorm. Maybe I'll fetch an underground sea and try to bait it. I am fucked. I have to hold priority, and I can't even do that in time. Oh well. Need them to counter that. If I could counter it back. I wanted to be able to like balance here, but I just couldn't figure it out. I don't know if there was a way that I could balance, but if I just like Tabernacle F6, that greedy. I died yet. I don't know if there was a better way for me to play that. So let's think about it. Log, put off emote mode. Jesus Christ. So if we end of turn, they just had the answer to Tabernacle, or we would have a chance, but they had force no matter what. Tier 1 if we chumped with 1 instead of 2. Interesting. If we, I wanted them to try to counter my demonic tutor, because if they counter my demonic tutor, I can force back, and then I can crack LED in response, get white, and cast balance. Well, I can do better than that. I can do daze, pick up my underground sea, crack LED, get white, cast balance, kill their bazaar and their board. No, because if I crack in response, my opponent has force of will, and they counter my balance. Right? So what I'm trying to, what I was attempting to do was get them to counter my demonic tutor so that I could daze the counter, crack LED, make white mana, ditch all of my counters, demonic for balance, and balance away their board and bazaar. Then I still need to draw into Tinker Blightsteel, but at least that would have given me a shot. Like, they just happen to have a hand that had 13 power, bazaar, and wasteland. So while Tabernacle is normally the answer for 13 power, if they just have a Wasteland, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm not convincing him to force my DT. I'm just asking him to force my DT so I have a chance to play the game. There was nothing else I could do, Log. I try to make the DT as convincing as possible.